Hi, this is CK at CK Education. Today I want to give you an update about what College Board is doing on some of their tests. Okay, so as you may know, most colleges, almost all colleges require the SAT or the ACT exams, one or the other. There are parents who ask me, do they also, my kid took the SAT, does he also need to take the ACT? No. Colleges will take, whatever colleges accept the SAT will also accept the ACT. You could go either way. But most of my students take the SAT. But on the SAT, there is a 50-minute essay. It's an optional essay. Some schools have required this. Mostly it was private schools, but not that many. Even in the Ivy League schools, only about half of them required them. I personally have been saying for years to my students that I think it's a sort of a meaningless part of the test because the scoring is so random. I have had students who are excellent writers who got low scores. I've had students who are sort of mediocre writers. Some are not very good at all, and they've gotten really good scores. And I've just seen no consistency with the 50-minute optional essay on the SAT. Now, fortunately, most colleges that most of my students applied to did not require them. So I told my students, probably over 90% of my students did not take the SAT essay portion as it was. But now what's happening is College Board announced very recently that they're going to get rid of the optional essay. And I think this is a great thing. I think this is good news because it was useless stress for students and it didn't prove anything anyway. And I told students that if you do well in your AP language class and you've written good papers and you've gotten A's in those classes, and also you have a application essay that you're going to write anyway, and all of these things show your writing skills and your writing ability and your competency. So the SAT optional essay was, in my mind, a useless portion of the test. But fortunately, they've decided and announced today that they're going to eliminate that section, which I think is a great decision by College Board. Okay, number two, College Board also said today that they are going to eliminate SAT subject tests. Now, this was sort of a surprise, but again, I think this is great news. Most high school students who were going to take the subject test also took a lot of AP classes, and they took the AP exams. And the AP exams were difficult enough, and kids spent a lot of time taking the AP classes and taking the tests, and then they find out that a lot of the private schools also require 2 SAT subject tests. So these are extra tests in addition to the SAT that students needed to take. So in past years, many of my students, they took 8 AP classes or 10 AP classes. They took the AP exams. Then they took 2 SAT subject tests, and they took the SAT. And so there was just so much testing and so much overlap. And College Board announced today that the subject tests are going to be eliminated. Again, I think this is great news for students. You can save your money. You can save time. It is an overlap with AP exams. They're not exactly the same, but I thought it was overkill. So I think they're getting rid of it. I think this is great. It doesn't really matter anymore, but the subject tests were required by most private schools, and most of them required that students take 2 of them. The perfect score was out of 800, and it was a 1-hour exam. So in addition to the SAT test, which is a 3 or 4 hour exam, depending on if you do the essay or not, you also had to take 2 SAT subject tests. Now, students, parents, from here on out, today on into the future, you do not have to sign. If you're taking the SAT, do not sign up for the SAT essay because it's not going to matter anymore. Do not sign up for the SAT subject test because they're not going to matter anymore. So you don't have to do them, all right? So if you've already taken them, that's okay. Colleges will still accept them. If you haven't taken them yet, don't worry about it. They're getting rid of it. Okay. So these are some of the recent updates that College Board has announced. And of course, because I'm in this business, I wanted to get that out to you as soon as I could. So if you have any other questions about these things, feel free to leave a comment in the sections below. If you're one of my students, you could text me, of course. I've already gotten some texts from students this morning, and I replied back to them. If you have any questions, if you're a parent or if you're a student who has more questions, and again, if you're one of mine, just text me. If not, just leave a comment, leave your questions in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to look at those and answer your questions. I will make another video after this one that deals with some changes on the SAT exam that are coming up, and I'll just share my thoughts on that. So for now, let me end the video here, and hopefully that gives you a pretty good idea of what's going on. And thanks for watching this video, and until my next one, I hope you stay well.